there's differences in credit scores. Like I've seen people that are over 800, all they have is like one credit card, right? They've got very limited credit. There's not a lot in their credit profile, and so therefore they actually are a very weak credit profile to the lenders. So that's why it's important not to fixate too much on the score, and you need a combination of good score, good history. Lease deals on EQBs are very strong right now. There's a $9,000 base incentive on EQBs, so those are very, very competitive for sure. Does Mercedes EV have an autopilot option like Tesla? Yeah, so we have driver assistance, and we've got some very sophisticated assisted driving, I'll call it. Tesla, their whole autopilot thing it's not really autopilot. Like, of course, you can't have the car drive itself, but because Tesla positions themselves as a technology company and that autopilot is always in beta mode, they have some features turned on that Mercedes is capable of, but are not approved for use in America under a traditional auto manufacturer. So Mercedes was actually the first level 3 autonomy level car technology approved for use in the States, and I think there's parts of California and Nevada where it is usable, but in the rest of the country it's not yet approved. So what do you mean by how do you renegotiate lease deals? I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. Ella, I've always had Mercedes and want an EV, but I'm hesitant to go to Tesla. If you haven't checked out the Mercedes EVs, I definitely would. I've been driving one for about 3 years now. I'm a big fan. I think they've done an amazing job with them for sure. What do you mean Tesla can't drive itself? Mine does all the time. Well, okay, it can, but it can't, right? I mean, you can't just, fall asleep in the car. I mean, I know that people have done that, but there's also a lot of horror stories for doing that. So the car is not fully capable of driving autonomously under all circumstances without there being risk of a collision, is what I'm trying to say. So, does it make sense to lease my first Mercedes or just stick with finance? I definitely recommend leasing for luxury cars in general. So that would be, my advice would be to lease. So if you're early in your sales career, is it better to work at a high volume dealer like Toyota or offered opportunity at Mercedes? Should I take it? Bright 2K, I think that the best opportunity for you is going to be a product that you believe in, a product that you love. And obviously high volume definitely gives you more opportunities to learn and be better. So I would encourage you to consider high volume, but if you don't love the product, then you'll have a hard time being excited about selling it. So thoughts on Audi? I think Audi is a great brand. I mean, I love all the German brands. I think that they have been in a little bit of a lull the last couple of years product-wise, but overall it's a great brand. The Cadian, what MB model has the most aggressive lease programs for February? Any of the EVs, and then if you can find any 2024 GLBs or C300s, those are ultra aggressive. What's up?
Can that 24 GLE 580 be leased?
Yeah.
Okay. I can't pull the fleet stuff right now. It's only giving me 25s. Am I looking in the wrong spot?
Yeah, there's two forms in there, one for 24 and one for 25.
It says 25 and then one beneath it says 25.
It should have the 24s on there. Yeah, the incentive goes from $2,500 to $3,000.
Right. And if he owns an LLC, he's a business owner.
There's no business owner fleet on that. And even if there was, it would probably be $2,500, so the incentive is better. Kimmy, do we have any pre-owned G-Wagons? Yes. Yes, we always have some pre-owned G-Wagons. Salvatore, do you think EVs are pausing because of the current administration? No, I think EVs are just slowing down a little bit because there have been some, the demand has slowed a little bit. And I think that manufacturers realize they maybe jumped in a little bit too aggressively. So, thoughts on best year and price point for a GLE 2021 or newer model depreciation? Yeah, I like 2021 as a model year. 2020 was the first model year for the new generation of GLE. And I don't necessarily believe in this as a hard rule, but there are a lot of people that say wait until the second year of a new car. So if you're buying pre-owned, if you're buying new, I don't think that really applies very much, but pre-owned, maybe it's a little bit more relevant. And yes, we do have the electric G-Wagon, and we've sold several of them. Matthew, if you currently have a 2020 BMW X5M competition, what would be an AMG equivalent? That would be the GLE 63, Matthew. GLE 63 would be the equivalent to that. And Adam, do you know any other plans for electrics? So Adam, I can tell you that Mercedes they are redoing the styling of our upcoming electrics. They've heard the feedback. They're going to make them look more like the regular cars that they're based off of. So that's good news that we've got the new CLA is going to be coming out, I think, next year. And that is going to be very, very cool looking, and it's going to have some crazy range. So, Bob, hello from Kingston, Michigan. Enjoy your content, very educational. I appreciate that, Bob. Thanks so much for watching. Thank you for your support. Everybody who's hanging out in the chat, please, either hit the thumbs up button or the like button. I really appreciate you doing that. The more we do that, the more eyeballs we can get on this. Garmani, what's going on? And so please, thank you. And also, if you're not following already, I would love and appreciate a follow. So I really appreciate all the support everybody has given me, and I'm glad that you all enjoy sticking around to do these question and answer sessions. So, Shannon Doe, thank you for the gift for the Tiny Donnie. I appreciate that. And Allison, still kicking my butt that I sold my 98 E324 Matic. I bought it new and sold with only 134,000 miles. Miss her so much. Love learning from you, Allison. Thank you so much. And that's cool that you, how long did you own or get rid of it recently, or did you sell it a while back? But those late 90s E-classes were beautiful. That was kind of the rounded headlights. I loved that era of styling. So, Hamad, what's the best lease incentives to bearing negative equity for the month of February? So going to be any of our EQ products, 2024 C-classes, or 2024 GLBs or GLAs if you can find any of those left over. So thanks to Mercedes, got approved for a C300 2022. I love driving it. Jesse, congratulations to you. Enjoy. Where's Colin? He's running around here somewhere. Paul, is there a per unit profit needed to support a dealership? I'm sure, that really depends on a lot of factors, Paul. The success of the sales department or how profitable the sales department needs to be depends on a lot of things. It comes down to your costs overall. It also depends on how much revenue your service department is doing. So there's a term in automotive dealership world, ownership world called absorption. And what it refers to is how much of the total expenses of a dealership are absorbed by the profit of the sales department or the service department. And the golden rule for a luxury dealer is to get that number to 70% or higher, which then lessens the burden put on the sales department. Colin?
You did not type in correctly. Andrew needs you to put it. The first payment was $2,207 down. You have $2,437. So he wants to know if you want to put that extra couple $100 in.
That was what was on your worksheet, buddy.
It should not have been on the worksheet. It should have been $2,207 down, $2,207 a month.
That's not what it says. Pull your worksheet. It says, why do you think I would put a random ass down payment in there like that?
Well, you're swearing on life. You can't do that.
You had a $2,400 down payment.
I shouldn't have. It should have been the first payment at signing.
You did.
Can you just put that in the back for me, please? It should have been $2,207.
So I have to eat $200 now?
It's just $200. It's okay.
It's not just, it's just $200 here, $200 there. It adds up fast, Colin. Unreal. Just have him change it.
He can't really put it up again.
Well, he's going to have to change it. Oh, you're saying I have to credit the startup?
Correct.
Unreal. Well, he's in the deal, so he can do it.
He just got out of it, he said.
He's not. He's in it.
Well, that's not...
How many coupes do you sell? What CLE coupes? We sell a bunch of CLE 53s. And Emery, yes, we still have the LaFerrari. And is 77, 79, 70 good for... Are you talking about credit score? Yeah, it's a good credit score. Brian, do you have a page or... No. Love my 2024 E350. Will be a year old next month. 14,000 miles on it. Nice, John. I love the new E-Class. I think they did an awesome job with it. Seb, if your goal is to own eventually, what makes leasing versus financing initially better? If you're going to keep a car long term, buy it. If you're going to keep a car for longer than 6 years, buy it every time. You should never lease with the intention of buying it out at the end of the lease, because leases are generally not intended to be bought out. It's not a good strategy. You lease if you're the type of person that needs a new car every 2, 3, 4 years. Then you lease every time, without exception. There's no beating there's no financial advantage to buying a car if you're going to get a new one after 2 or 3 or 4 years. Let's see, Matthew. Is it possible to custom build a Sealy 53 in Hyper Blue? No, unfortunately, it is not. So the Sealy 53 at this point in time is not available for custom paint,
I'm gonna prove you wrong.
and so it is not currently available for that.
So the world can see that I'm not an idiot.
Hold up. let me
Total due at signing, 2207. Payment, 2207.
see. What's that down payment,
Why is that doing that then? Total due at signing, 2207.
buddy? I don't know. I'm looking at down payment. It says
Well-
2437.
Why is that printing twice then? Because I put in 20. It says when you go to Roadster, 2207 down, 2207 a month. So why that's showing like that, I have no idea.
Neither do
We got
I.
to figure that out. But can you please call?
Oh, I bet you I know why. It's
Can you
probably
please
because
say
of the.
sorry to me. Makes me feel better about myself.
Yeah, sorry, buddy.
Okay. I was gonna
But it
say.
does say
I
I'm
know it
looking at
wasn't
the down
crazy.
payment there.
No, you're fine. I just did the total due at signing. That's
All
why
right.
I was just like,
Let's see.
why is there 3 cameras?
What would you do with the T-Bird? The T-Bird is here. It's for
Still
sale.
for sale. It's being worked on in service.
Mm-hmm. It is being worked on in service. Yeah, Colin is very touchy. He's very sensitive,
Mhm.
and he is. If he is bothered by something and doesn't have resolution to it, it'll ruin his entire day.
Mhm.
So, how do I feel about FJ Cruisers? I love them. I'm for them. Who's this?
Charles.
Oh,
I'm sure he's watching this. No. Trying to get an audience with both.
nice. Tell Charles I say hello.
I love Charles.
What's the most outrageous lease deal you've ever done?
I probably win that.
Yeah, Colin has the memory of an elephant. He never forgets anything.
George's Spectre.
Well, that could be outrageous. Are you talking about like outrageous expensive or outrageous cheap? What was that payment?
$100,000 down with 50 grand negative, 5,000 miles a year, 4 years at $10,124 a month.
There you go, 10,000.
Swap out a car
Huh?
in Westlake, so I'll be right back.
Okay.
You're gonna what?
Swap out a car.
What do you mean? Like a demo?
Yeah, my so I was in the meeting this morning. I went to Westlake, picked up the client's parts to take to service or
Yeah.
something.
Cool.
Give them my
Be
lemon.
careful, it's very slick out my mouth.
Okay. How do you sell How do you see full electric car sales in 2025? I think they're going to continue to be a part of sales. I don't think it's going to be a huge portion of it, but we do sell a good number of them. I'm actually pretty proud of the team for selling as many as we do, especially here in the Midwest. Sam, sup guys? What's going on? Terrible blind spots on the FJ. Yeah, FJ Cruisers. So we actually had one. My dad is a very impulsive car buyer, and when those came out back in whenever it was, 08 maybe, it might have actually been earlier than that. He went to the local Toyota dealership. They had the bright blue one on the lot, and he bought it right then and there. And I have 3 younger sisters. They didn't particularly like it. I thought it was cool. It felt like driving a tank when you were in it. But they were cool, and they hold their value extremely, extremely well. And when you look at even their values today, it's just mind-blowing to me what they're worth. So Drew at Toyota, Doug, good to see you as well, Drew. Thanks for stopping by. Thank you for the heart me. I appreciate that. Chris, I want to join the car selling industry. How should I do it? I'm currently a parts guy. The best thing to do is raise your hand and let them know that that's what you want to do, right? So either at the dealership that you're at now or reach out to one that you have your eye on. But the beauty of car sales is that the barrier to entry is very low. And even though some dealerships might be a little bit more picky on what they look for, there's always going to be a dealership that is willing to take a chance on you. So, and now keep in mind that most dealerships are paying 100% commission. So because of that, you are, going to be, it can be a little bit inconsistent. And that's why the barrier to entry is so low in this industry, is because if a dealership is paying 100% commission and you don't perform, it really doesn't cost them anything. So, Anyone at the dealership into the old 80s diesels? I think that, I'm into old diesels. I think they're super cool. I'm bummed out that the diesels have essentially been discontinued for the American market. But yeah, I have a deep appreciation for diesel engines. So, do you have any cars for my teenager? I'm sure we do. It depends on what you're looking for. But we're very fortunate to have a really great inventory of pre-owned cars that are of all makes and models and price points that we take in on trade. How many new Mercedes do you sell a month? So we're between 70 and 120 for new Mercedes sales. Sorry, just a moment. All right. They're in Ohio. Yes, we are. We're in the Cleveland, Ohio area. So, Don, thank you for the follow. Thank you to everyone who's hanging out. Please make sure that you're hitting that like button and the thumbs up button. And if you're not following already or subscribed already, if you're over on YouTube, I appreciate if you would follow, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And shipping to Oregon. Shipping to Oregon is it's not as much as you would think. For open, it's probably $1,200 to $1,400. Adam, never understood the electric car hate. Everyone should be able to decide if they want ICE car or electric, but some people knock it before they try them. Yeah, Adam, I think that it became very political. I think that's where a lot of the hate came from. And the reality is that electric cars, a lot of things that are happening in automotive are being dictated by governments of the world. I want to be clear about that. It's not just an America thing. This is governments of the world that want emissions to come down. They want electric adoption to go up. And so what you all have to realize is that there's a ton of money on the line for manufacturers that don't want to play ball with these potential fines, in the sense that there are billions of dollars at stake if cars have or if manufacturers have overall emissions that are too high, if their engine displacements on average are too high, fuel economy is too low. So yeah, you kind of have no choice. You've got to implement it to a degree. I do agree with you that the market should decide what people want to buy, and then that would decide what manufacturers make, but it's just not the reality of the world that we're living in right now. And so that's why you see a lot of engine downsizing. That's why you see engines becoming quieter. Exhaust is becoming quieter, because it's not just pollution. They're also concerned with noise pollution. So it's just important perspective to have, because I get it. Look, I wish that we had V8s all over the place that were loud and sounded great, and I wish that electric cars were more about there being demand for them and less about them being forced on everybody. But at the same time, I do understand that this is out of the manufacturer's hands to a degree. So they have to, in fact, just Google this. The other day, there was an article about Volkswagen Group is on the hook for huge fines in the next year or two because their fuel economy globally is way too low. So, and JGP, still no information on the CLE 63 as much as I wish I had it. I did ask Mercedes, I've asked them several times about that, and because they like to announce things on social media, they don't tell dealers in advance anymore because they are rightfully concerned that dealerships would put the word out and spoil the surprise. So I do know it's coming at some point. I'm hoping that there's a big unveiling soon, but as of now, CLE 63, E63, these are all cars that we're still waiting on. So, but yes, I'll make one more point on the electric car, since there's a lot of people in the YouTube chat that are asking about it. And MCC LX, I agree with you. I think that a lot of the resistance to it is because people feel like it's forced upon them. But I will agree that a lot of people have decided they don't like them before they've even ever really had any interaction with them. And we've made about 20% of our service loaner car fleet electric. And generally speaking, I'm not embellishing here when I tell you that the clients that get them for loaner cars come back very impressed. And that's how the majority of them have been sold, is people get them as a loaner and they drive it, and then they come back and they're like, wow, that was way better than I thought it was going to be. So I do think that EVs, once you like, and I was kind of that way. I mean, I've had some cool cars in my life, quite frankly, and I get a demo, and so I really get to, you know, with the exception of big dollar AMGs, I can drive essentially whatever I want, and I keep picking the EQS SUV. I mean, it's a great family car, right? I can, you know, we all fit in it as a family, and as a daily driver, it's just so smooth. It's so enjoyable. I really truly love it. Euphoria, good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you as always for stopping by. Brett, do you think Mercedes should do another hypercar like the one and sell it in the U.S.? They'll do another one at some point. And Brett, the intention was to always have the AMG one sold in the States, but they just could not get it approved for sale here in the States. They could not get it road legal, unfortunately. And that was a real bummer because we had 3 clients that were selected to drive them, and we were really looking forward to having those cars come through the dealership and be able to deliver them. It didn't end up coming to be. So let's see, $845 a month, 0 down, taxes included, 48-month lease for a 2024 Sealy 300 Cabriolet, $76,000 MSRP. That's a pretty expensive MSRP. That sounds like a pretty good deal. I would double check it. I would plug it into the system because we just did. Yeah, with 0 down, that's a good deal on a car that expensive. What is the mileage range for the EQS? So Ella, depending on where you live, in the summertime, I get about 400 to 450 miles on a full charge, and in the wintertime, that'll drop all the way down to like 300 to 325. So if it's really, really cold, you're losing about 100 miles of range. So it's, but even still, you know, 300 to 325 miles of range in the wintertime is still, for a lot of people, if you're not commuting, you know, long distances, that's still a pretty good amount of miles. So let's see. Brandon, having worked for MB as long as you have, is there a gap in the market that you personally want to see filled? Example, Ford saw a gap in the market of compact trucks with the Maverick. So, I mean, Mercedes is pretty famous for having a vehicle for just about everybody. The one vehicle, there's 2 things, 2 immediate needs that I see that Mercedes, I think, should fill. One, I would love for them to bring the V-Class here to the States. The V-Class is the passenger minivan. You know, we had the Metris here in the States, which was a commercial vehicle. There really wasn't much demand for it because it's a commercial vehicle. But I think the minivan sales are still strong in the States. I think that a lot of people realize that although they might not look the best, they have a functionality with the sliding doors and storage that SUVs just don't have. So I really, you know, we get asked about it a lot, and I wish that they would bring it here. The other thing I'd like to see them do is an extended length GLS. So kind of like the Tahoe has the Suburban and the Yukon and the Yukon XL and Escalade, you know, EXT. The GLS, I think, would be well served to have a longer variant because the GLS today is really more in line with like a Yukon or a Tahoe. And for big families that do use the third row on a regular basis, there's not a ton of storage behind the third row when that third row is in use. So those are 2, I think, easy decisions for them to make. Yeah, it would be fun to have a pickup truck, but Mercedes is, you know, very convinced, because I've asked them this in the past as well, and they're very convinced that it wouldn't do well here because of Americans' loyalties to all of the various American truck manufacturers, and they're probably right. But I mean, it would be great if we had a pickup truck. I wouldn't say no to it. But Ahmed, maintenance costs to EVs are very low. You're really not paying for any maintenance outside of tires. Really, there is no maintenance on an EV. So eventually you'll need brakes, but that's way down the road because of the regen braking. Really, they're going to go through tires quite a bit faster than a regular car because of how heavy they are. but you're not changing the oil. There's really no moving parts, so maintenance is very, very inexpensive. Laura, hello, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Seth, GLS is the best. Yes, we do love the GLS. It's a great vehicle. And M, how are you? Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Thank you to everyone who's hanging out today. We've got a nice full chat room from YouTube. Thank you for everyone on YouTube. I've just started kind of streaming there for the first times, and just another humble request for everyone to hit that like button or the thumbs up button, and if you're not followed already, please hit the follow and hit the subscribe button. And everybody on Instagram and TikTok and everywhere else, if you're not on following me on YouTube yet, please go over there and subscribe on YouTube, because I get to post some longer videos on there that are pretty cool. Well, at least I think so. I guess we'll see. But do you know if the Sam's Club $4,500 fleet incentive is stackable with the $4,000 dealer cash? No. So those incentives are not combinable. You get whichever one is best. So Sam's Club replaces the dealer cash. So yeah, Euphoria. YouTube is it's just a different kind of a different vibe over there, right? You can do. And I still haven't really fully figured it out, because it requires a different style of filming, but at least I can put much longer videos over there if people are open to the idea. Euphoria this week won't be good, but early next week I could probably make work. Dave, the V-Class makes a great airport shuttle vehicle. The X-Class died a quick death here in New Zealand. Yeah, Dave, I mean, I'm not surprised to hear that. I mean, it really wasn't a Mercedes. That was just a failed, collaboration with Nissan, really. So it was just kind of a rebadged Nissan, that's one of the only times in Mercedes-Benz history that they've done that, sort of rebadged another vehicle, and I think that they shouldn't have done it. It also was a mid-size pickup truck and not a full size. So, but. So Steve, American Express is no longer a incentive partner. That program was canceled by American Express at the start of this year, but we do have AAA now. So if you're a AAA member, there's nice programs with AAA, and there are not any incentives on G-Wagons, and I don't ever expect there to be. The incentives go to the cars that need them, and they stay away from the cars that don't. So things like GLC coupes and G-Wagons, two of our historically most high-demand, low-production vehicles, have really never had incentives. So could you show the model car by the football? So that's just a Lego Project 1. Well, it's meant to be anyway. So that's the Lego Project 1. That's what that is. So kind of cool. Let's see. Yeah, let's set something up next week. Would be fine. So, what else is going on? Thanks again for everyone hanging out. We'll go for about another 15 minutes. We'll go to about 6:15 if that's cool with everybody. Thank you for all the questions. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the follows. Appreciate that much. Tyler, is it better to lease a loaner car or a brand new car based on incentives? Well, Tyler, the loaner car is always going to be the better deal. It just comes down to whether or not you're okay with the miles, which the miles don't affect you, right? The lease will start from the miles that are on the car. And you're also going to have a little bit of limited availability relative to what you would have on a new car. Obviously, if you get a new car, pretty much the world is your oyster. You can get whatever you want. If you're looking at a demo or a loaner car, right, you have to choose from what's available. So the deals are fantastic, and if we can find you one that's agreeable, it's a great option. Especially if you've got negative equity that you need to offset with a big discount, then loaner cars are a really, really good option. Stefan, hi from Sweden. Thank you for saying hello all the way from Sweden. It's amazing to me how many people from across the pond watch the content. I love that. So Wes, thoughts on the EQS SUV? I'm a big fan, right? I've been driving one for about 3 years now. So, and I get one as a demo, and I continue to choose that. Hey, buddy. You're welcome, Steve. My pleasure. Now that I can afford to have an American Express or Mercedes, American Express is removing all their perks and raising card fees. Yeah, Amex is really removing a lot of perks, which is unfortunate. You are not the first person to say that. So, yeah, and honestly, the EQS SUV Euphoria is, even though the styling on our EVs is, I'm not gonna lie, they're not the prettiest cars that we make, but the EQS SUV to me is actually a pretty handsome vehicle. I don't mind the styling at all, and just the way that it drives, it's just so crazy smooth. I mean, they're so heavy and so solid, and they make really good winter cars because they're really heavy, and with the batteries at the floor of the car, the low center of gravity makes the car really, really solid in the winter. So there's that as well. But the ride and the quality in the interior is top notch. The technology is, and they've got the latest version of our driver assistance, which is great because in a lot of our vehicles, the car will yell at you to put your hands back on the wheel, after just a few seconds. In the EQ, if you're on the highway and nothing much is going on, you might be able to go a full minute almost without the car kind of interrupting you. So, it's kind of nice sometimes to just, at the end of the day, get on the highway home from work and just sort of put it on cruise and let it drive me home. So, Shrampy, I live in California. Who is the largest Mercedes in the U.S.? Yeah, so Newport Beach, California is the largest Mercedes dealer in the U.S. So, Min Diesel, I would argue that the tech in a Tesla is not superior to any manufacturer. They just don't have the same restrictions that other manufacturers do. So, again, their autopilot, it's pretty genius, but it's existing in a software phase that allows it to be, it allows it to operate in a way that Mercedes cannot operate their cars, right? So it's, Mercedes has the same capabilities as far as driverless technology that Tesla does, but they can't legally implement it everywhere. Right, so there's just different rules that they have to play by as a legacy manufacturer than Tesla has to. So Teslas are very cool, don't get me wrong. The technology is fantastic, but I don't think it's accurate to say that their technology is better. They just have less restriction. So how does the 4MATIC operate full-time 4x4 being from Texas? We typically, yeah. So, Gerard, the difference is that all-wheel drive, 4MATIC is all-wheel drive, so it's always going to be all-wheel drive. Justin, I'm not sure where you work, but tell Jeremy I say hello as well. But 4MATIC is in all-wheel drive all the time, so all four wheels are going to have power all the time, unless you're talking about one of our entry-level cars, which would be CLA, GLA, or GLB. Those are actually in dry conditions on a dry road. When there's no loss of traction, those will actually operate as front-wheel drive cars until all-wheel drive is needed.
Row says hello.
Who?
Row says hello.
Oh, nice. Okay. But everything else is all-wheel drive all the time, which is, I think, more convenient than four-wheel drive, because with four-wheel drive, you actually have to activate it. And four-wheel drive also doesn't really have the ability to send different amounts of power to different wheels like all-wheel drive does. So, yes, Laura, that was Colin. No, sorry, I am reading the comments, but it's a lot of different chats to bounce between, so I do apologize. Do you like the Audi e-tron GT? My dad drives one. Yeah, the Audi e-trons are cool. We've taken a couple on trade as well.
Do you want to work a deal live on camera, live on stream?
Sure.
Choice,
We're going to have to keep the we got to protect information, so you might have to write some stuff down.
Can we pull Navy Fed payoff?
No. You have to call Navy Fed for a payoff.
You sure about that?
I'm very sure.
Navy Fed requires a phone call. So does PSE.
Alright, we'll have to work with rough numbers for tonight.
No.
Yes,
You have to pay off.
They're closed.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
They have a 1-800. Come on, cut it out.
1-800.
Who is this for?
The deal I've got to work.
What do you need to work? Work it to the point that you can't work it and then I can modify it.
That's where you're at.
Okay,
So I got shipping, and we got to appraise this car together because it's a really interesting one.
what car is it?
It's a Rover.
Didn't we already appraise this? Pretty sure we did. All right, we're gonna do an appraisal here. Laura says hello, Colin.
Hi, Laura.
This is the 2024 Range Rover, right?
I didn't appraise this car, dude. I don't know what to say.
All right. Is this the build sheet?
Can you let me set up my camera first? Got it. I'll record a single video today.
You're getting yelled at.
Yes, it's a 2024 Range Rover.
How many miles are on it?
It's a Land Rover. He said there's 14.9 on it, but it'll probably be 15,000 because he's probably going to drive here. So I put 15K.
And why do we have no pictures?
Because it says his wife's driving it right now.
So how am I supposed to appraise it?
Well, it's got a PPF on it.
So
So no rock chips, although...
what if he crashed into something?
PPF adds value, Doug.
Not if you crash into something.
This is, he says,
It's not a force field.
no PPF, no damage, clean Carfax, clean in and out. Nice ride, super luxe, just not a V8. Not quick enough. That sounds like a song.
Original tires.
Slightly worn down tires, slightly.
Are they original?
You could call them original. If
This
you
is funny.
like. Colin,
Okay, hold up.
hold on.
No, we got to stop.
I know.
Last service record was Christmas Eve with 14,878 on it.
Yeah.
So unless they parked it in the garage on Christmas Day and have never driven it since, then it does not have 14,900 miles on it.
I didn't put 14,900.
You just told me he said it had 14,900
And
miles.
what did I put in AccuTrade?
15.
There you go.
Okay, so no.
That's a 200 sway.
No. You're saying that they've driven 112 miles, 122 miles in 2 months?
Are you saying
Month and a half?
Are you saying he doesn't have 6 cars?
Buddy, I need a picture of the Auto.
Listen, man, I'm working with what I got here right now.
Do you see all what he does to me? Between the two of you.
Oh, don't drag me in.
No,
Don't drag
no,
me
no.
in.
Your
You had the
the
same
two of your
conversation.
appraisals are so sloppy.
It's not sloppy.
I really am not enjoying sitting
I,
here.
I'm kidding. Come on, buddy.
It's
But
not
you're.
sloppy.
It is.
It's not.
Dude.
It's very neat and tidy.
I take every
listen,
trade-in across
If this
the
guy wants an
street.
appraisal, I need an odometer photo
Doug,
because
it's very clean. I barely put anything in there.
it doesn't matter. I don't know how many miles it has, and neither do you, and neither does he. He told you it has 14.9. There's an entry on the Carfax from a month and a half ago.
I'm gonna phone a friend. Hold on.
All right.
Mine are not that awful, are they?
No, it's just you do the same thing. Somebody tells you what
did
the
the same-
mileage is, you get no pictures, you put it in, and then we find out you were off by 5,000 miles the other day. Remember?
Doug's
For
sitting here
Denise- for
screaming
Denise.
at me because I don't have a photo of the miles and the condition. He's like, you don't believe me? He's live right now, so you can watch his live stream.
Who are we talking
I'm not
about?
screaming at you. I'm just saying the Carfax says 14,878
This is to
on
Doug.
Christmas Eve.
Do you have like a? I know. Do you? This is why.
You see what he does to me? Right? These are why all these videos turn out this way.
I'm on the phone. Stop yelling. Well, do you have like the app that shows perhaps the mileage or something?
I just want to make sure we don't get that wrong.
Yeah, the mileage is the most important thing because we can sway it. So yeah, if you can send that. Yeah.
We'll do that math, yeah.
Yeah, we can go from there. So.
Who's he talking to?
14,907.
Look at that.
Thank you. We're working on it now. Alright. Just photos of the interior and exterior as soon as you can get them. Okay, thank you very much.
2008 Sequoia review.
How would have you
Oh,
replaced
yeah.
the tires? Are they? Okay. And those are all season tires?
Does he know if they were new when he got it?
Do you know if the tires were new when you got them, or did they have to replace the tires? Okay, we'll look.
The only reason I ask is that if they're original,
Yeah, we can pull the Carfax. All right, thank you, boss.
All right, we'll get those miles.
What are you gonna do now? 14,907.
What?
What?
What are you saying?
14,907.
That's how many miles it has?
Yes.
How is that possible?
Because he has other cars and they work from home. They sell insurance.
So they've driven 21. They've driven 19 miles since they bought the car.
Doug, maybe they live 5
Or
miles.
29
from the grocery
miles.
Store, and the dealership is in their backyard. I don't know what to tell you. I have a photo coming right now, so don't even.
I want to see it.
I don't want to show you at this point. I feel like you haven't earned it. Say please.
I want to see it.
Please.
Please put photos in AccuTrade from now on, so I don't have to grill you.
I don't have the photo yet, so I can't show you.
Yeah. William, the hiring pool must be rather shallow. Yeah, I
It's
get.
like soup. It's like deep. Let me know when you have the photo.
Can I buy your bow tie? No, they're not for sale. This one actually was a gift from Jared.
Yeah.
A Secret Santa gift.
I thought you were gonna say yes.
It was.
I thought you were gonna say yeah. You can buy this.
Yeah, so you can buy it.
Please, I'll give it away.
Joe never gave me my Secret Santa gift.
No?
No,
What, you ended up being a Secret Santa?
I was, but I never got my gift.
And you're never going to forget that, are you?
No.
Ah. Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
I just
That's
don't,
honestly.
I don't get
I've
it.
honestly seen that though before. I mean, look at George for example. I mean,
Look at that.
I'm not saying it's impossible, it's just not
if
likely.
the person has multiple cars, I mean that's just
Okay, I just wanted to verify. So the car has literally, according to the Carfax, has traveled 29 miles in a month and a half. Which is, I'm not saying it's impossible. We do have baller clients that have lots of cars and don't drive some of them. But I had to be sure.
I'm gonna.
And for now, I'm going to put the tires at half life because without knowing, if they were brand new when he bought it,
He says
that's great.
He says he doesn't think that they were, so you have to look at the car.
Yeah. So 15,000 miles on a 22-inch rim, that's about as much as you're going to get.
He has 5 cars. He has 5 cars. I told you. I said. 6.
I'm not, that's fine.
Done.
So he is the exception, not the rule.
Let's hear it. Say I was wrong.
No, you.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Listen,
Say it,
you
say it.
started an appraisal with no information
I have most of the information in there.
except for a picture of the miles and a picture of the car itself, which is pretty much half of what is necessary
And I
outside of the VIN
overestimate.
number.
Just tell the camera that you were wrong.
Jared was wrong, and I had to put him through this embarrassment
Oh yeah.
in order to find out how many miles the car truly had.
Of this
You know,
video.
you could have asked him for that picture, and we could have avoided all of
I
this.
didn't think of it till I was being screamed at. So the pressure was on.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So
Is
what?
the comment section just a nightmare?
Oh yes. Caitlin says, "I'm so patient."
I'm so
I
patient.
am. Thank you, Caitlin.
I'm so patient I could be a doctor.
Yeah, so I'm checking in with everybody before I head out probably and
All right. No heads-up display. No. Oh, it's got cold climate pack. You missed that. Oh no, I'm sorry. They want hot climate pack. Never mind. Don't know what that is.
It's like
Oh, but it has that.
there you go. So
Oh, it's got a refrigerator in the center console.
Yeah, that's why you can't have a third row. 911 GTS, Beamer M5, Beamer X7, and a beater Kia Soul for the kids.
Nice. All right, so 80 is the number, assuming without adjusting for tires.
Without adjusting for tires?
That's assuming the tires are going to be probably needing to be replaced.
Oh, okay, good. What about
Okay.
PPF?
That's factoring in as PPF. I'm stepping up on the number that I have here.
PPF adds value.
I'm assuming that the car is going to be pristine. That's where the number's coming from. Okay. It's going to become, the next owner will be the third owner. It's not the end of the world, but it is a 2024 that'll be on its third owner, which some people get a little antsy about that. So, okay, well, if it won't cut it, I get it.
Alright, can I see the appraisal, please?
Mm-hmm. Wholesale average is 81, so we're just below that. Whatever happened to the 2004 Thunderbird? Yes, we did take it in on trade, Brett, and it is here available for sale.
Doug said I could take it home for the weekend. And then freeze to death.
Let's see here. Hold up, I gotta.
Doug, the client's talking to you right now if you'd like to. He's watching the stream.
Oh.
He wants to.
It said 82,275 last week.
Yeah,
Did it really?
He worked it with Steve last week. There's probably nothing in there. Plus the
No, if
appraisal's
it did, it
changed.
would be in there.
There was a lead in Steven's name, but I didn't see an appraisal in Steven's.
I don't see how it would drop that far. That doesn't make sense.
Here, he's watching the stream.
Oh no, it is in there. Let's see.
Oh, remember
Oh, that's
we-
because we
we
were.
appraised this. Remember last week? It's in our email chain.
Oh, that's because he. Hold up. Hold up. I do apologize. I did miss something.
We
Well, you missed something. So I'm doing your job for you now. That's the
let's-
problem.
Okay, let's just share equal blame as the team that we are. And I won't say it was mostly you.
Yep, it has the deployable side steps. That was.
There it is. But I remember.
But he did give himself. I think he did the appraisal, or somebody did, and that was in there as double credit. So,
Yes.
which it does. You can't. It doesn't have both. And it also said head-up display in that appraisal, and I don't see it on here.
Well, hang on. He sent me a copy of his build sheet. See, maybe that's different.
No, the Land Rover build sheets are really a pain to read.
Yeah, but sometimes iPacker doesn't pull the right build sheets. It feels like he's got every option. What's the difference between Land Rover and Range Rover?
Land Rover is the parent company. Range Rover is a sub-brand. It'd be like Mercedes. It's like Maybach, basically.
So Land Rover's the Maybach in this situation.
So it's a Land Rover Range Rover. Is what it technically is. All right, I added the steps in. He did have double credit. He has $1,000 worth of options in there that the car doesn't have. That's the only thing. So it doesn't have heads-up display, and you can't have side steps power and side steps by themselves. But I'll do that number that was in there before, because I think that with the steps and looking at that option sheet, I think that's fair.
Yeah, I'd say it's pretty well equipped.
But I think he said that number didn't work then either. So
Well, buttons on your underwear. You know,
anyway, bow ties are for kids and old people. Why? Why, Christopher? Why? I don't know if I agree about that. Yeah, shooter. These are unforced errors. Yep. See, I was like, I know I appraised this car.
we did. Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We did. So
Maybe just be a little bit more with it, right?
it didn't come up. This is what I'm telling you. I think I have.
This was 5 days ago. You already forgot.
I think I have manager access in AccuTrade, and when I put in an appraisal, no other appraisal comes up.
How does trading in work
I
for
don't
out-of-state
think-
clients? Do you or the client fund shipping? So if there's going to be shipping, then that gets added to the deal, right? We don't absorb the cost of shipping. It's that would be the same as discounting it, and again, it wouldn't, just because somebody lives out of state doesn't mean that they get free shipping.
This is a good question,
Hmm?
actually. Live negotiations.
Well, every dealership can offer whatever they want for a car, right?
Yeah.
You could offer 100 for it. That doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, ours is.
Would they buy that car from him for that number? That's the question I would ask.
Yeah, ours is based off cars.com and whatever cars.com says.
Well, it's not just that. It's based on a lot more than that. I mean, it's Mannheim shows 83.5, so if somebody's blindly looking at Mannheim, then they might put that number on there.
I'd say they're probably.
Range Rovers right now, this is no knock on them, but that market is sliding quickly.
I'd say.
So the tool that we use to appraise cars is very forward-looking. They look at auction trends, specifically no sale data. That's what makes it very unique.
So he says it is contingent on buying theirs. So
Yeah, so it's not a real number.
ours is not contingent on buying our
Yeah.
car.
So this is just a little, if you're ever dealing with a dealership that tells you that a trade number is if you buy a car from them, then that's not actually what your car is worth. That's an important distinction to make. So the way we do things here is everything is going to be 100% transparent, and that you're going to get a price on your trade, you're going to get a price on the car that you buy. Those prices are true independent of one another. So you don't have to buy a car from us to sell us your car, and you don't have to trade a car to us to buy a car. And the reason this is important is that, if they tell you, oh, I'll give you XYZ for your car, but that's only if you buy a car from me, then that's not, they could be just moving money around in the deal. And that's a very popular way that dealerships like to operate. The reason that we don't do it is that you get caught in a lie. And I don't like that. Need a Bimmer and bow ties guy. All jokes aside, if I'm ever in the market, I'd buy it from you guys, even though I'm in Kansas City. Yeah, I'm surprised there isn't one yet at this point. Beamers and bow ties. But Rudy Gonzalez, thank you for the rose. I appreciate that. Thanks for everyone who's been hanging out this song. We're going a little over our time, but we'll go another 5 minutes to see if we can get some resolution here. But thanks to everyone that's hanging out. Make sure that you like and follow and subscribe.
We did the deal live on
Right?
camera.
You sure we can't pull Navy Fed?
Yes, I'm 100% sure.
Can I ask someone else just to see?
Buddy, we can't.
Call Andrew.
I have no reason to tell you that. Listen, I'll show you. Navy Federal is a credit union.
Hey, can we pull Navy Fed payoff? Alright, thank you.
Jared didn't believe me.
He says we can't pull Navy Fed. I don't know why he thought we could.
Oh, God. You.
What if he pulls it from the app?
He can do that. It may or may not be 100% accurate. You always need to make sure you get a dealer payoff.
He says I never believed Doug.
Who never believes me?
Me.
Oh. Yeah, you never believe anything.
Nope. Not trusting that.
Let's see. Scott likes the station wagon E450 class, the off-road version. Yeah, so when we sold out of EQS SUVs for a couple months, I drove one of those, and I really enjoyed it. The new E-Wagon is hot. It is hot. I am a fan.
And then what'd you do with the key?
What key?
The E-Way.
I gave it to somebody. I drove the car to work that day, and then somehow at the end of the day, the key
Disappeared.
was gone. You tell me how that happened.
People are asking how old you are, Doug.
I'm 38.
Wow.
Yeah, so is what worthy of a trade, Kels? Sorry, I missed the question. What's the per diem on the loan? Well, we don't know. We can't pull the payoff. Donald?
Gentlemen's and Jared.
Oh, burn!
That's weird because there's only 3 guys in here. So riddle me that one, Batman.
Another Land Rover appraisal.
Actually, that's Range Rover.
Nope, Land Rover or Defenders are Land Rover.
Coffee in addition. So this is Ashley Barajas, who sold a GLE 53 in Texas last December, November. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, of course.
Now she goes down. She goes like,
We're live, so just keep that in mind.
she's down in the situation. So, do tell. Her husband is
Okay.
being deployed.
Oh, okay.
So this is his.
Okay.
When I say they're upside down,
They're very upside down.
they roll negative into that.
What are they trying to get into, or what are they trying to accomplish?
So they're trying to get out from under this negative equity, which they're willing to throw a lot of money because it's a lot. Their payoff is 121.
It's got a bad Carfax.
Okay, it's even worse.
Yeah. I really don't see how that's even going to happen, to be honest with you.
She said it's 121, but we are willing to come out of pocket if we need to.
Well,
we need to.
But what would be the ultimate goal? Obviously, I know they want to get out of the car, but are they trying to lower their payment? Are they trying to, why not just keep this and continue paying on it, right?
Yeah. Well, she was telling me I'm gonna call her to talk to.
Well, here, I'm live, so I wouldn't do it in here.
Hey, Ashley.
Here.
Hey, got a question for you. So we're looking into this. So in the end, your ultimate goal.
All right, so I'm gonna probably cut it there anyway because I do need to get my day wrapped up before we're out of here.
He's gonna give me a payoff.
What's that?
He's pulling his payoff on his.
Okay. But anyway, thank you for everyone for hanging out. I do appreciate it. Put the trade on Turo and rent it. Yeah, the Turo thing I don't think is very viable anymore. I think if there's so many videos I find on social media of people that did, bought a bunch of cars with the intent of renting them on Turo, and now they're desperately trying to get out of them.
It's a pretty good payoff. It's a 14-day payoff.
Okay.
Want to roll with that?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, let's.
Use the 14-day payoff amount.
Yeah, let's. Well, I gotta put shipping in there, so let's just work it the old-fashioned way. Savvy.
So lazy.
You say lazy, I say lazy.
So now you got to show me that information again because I'm not Colin. I don't remember everything like that by looking at it for one time.
So here's
No demo S580s.
here they are in Roadster, so you can.
I found that.
Oh,
I need
geez,
the
attitude.
I need
Right-
the trade
right off the rip.
First of all, does he have fleet? Did you say, or just you were asking about business?
Yeah, no fleet.
Okay.
There's my loan amount.
It's. Let me see. All right. Oh, sorry, that is okay. And are we financing?
We're going to lease it.
Lease it?
Hold on one more second. He told me a second ago.
Term does he want to see?
He says 0 money down, just first payment, etc. 24, 36, 39. So we need a grid. He wants to see 10, 12, and 15,000 miles.
What?
Just do.
You sure he doesn't want to see 10, 12, or 15 miles a month based on what he's driving?
Just do. Just give me 12,000 miles, and then we'll go up or down.
You'll be able to modify the mileage in there once I say that.
But I can't modify the.
This is the
grid.
24, right? You can't modify the grid, but you'll be able to tell him what the payment changes. So it's just easy math at that
This
point.
is the 24.
Yeah.
God, I have to frame a shot. Jeez, oh man. Can you put shipping in there? He says he might drive here, but I'd like to just have it in there.
Yeah, we can always remove it.
We can always remove it.
He's down in Florida, right?
Why do you say that?
Oh, I'm sorry, because I was looking at the wrong thing. It's okay. I get it. I see it.
Don Diego?
Yeah.
What's wrong with
Oh, nothing. I just don't think we're gonna be able to help her. They're paying $2,200 a month on this thing. And she said when they bought it, Carfax, of course, never explained it away, saying it's not really an accident.
It is
They
really
don't
an
know
accident.
Why it's on there.
It doesn't matter
Yeah.
why it's on there. It's on there.
that? Can we say that? This isn't really an accident.
Well, I mean, it could be other damage.
Well, no,
but
so
nonetheless.
yeah, it just says damage to the right side, but unfortunately, Carfax doesn't differentiate between damage and an accident. It trips the yellow triangle, and that's all that matters.
Ultimate goal is he's gonna be gone a year. So the cars that she gets is just gonna be sitting in their garage till he gets back. Ideally, it would be a
You said what was the payoff? 110.
121,000.
Oh my.
They have 30K they could put towards it.
Yeah, it's not gonna
And
scratch
it's
the
still,
surface.
it's very.
Yeah.
EQS 450 would be your best possible. And even that.
Loan to value, you'd get it. It basically be like buying an EQS for MSRP, is basically what it would be. You EQS sedan would be the best option to look at.
Yeah.
Because those are the more incentivized. You know, the SUV is quite a bit more expensive than a sedan.
No, I did mean sedan, but yeah, I mean even then.
Yeah, you've got a $17,000 base incentive on that car plus $7,500 lease cash. So right there, we're at 75. 24.7 or 5. Excuse me. So about 25 grand off. Let's call it.
Okay.
And then all of our EQSs have around $12,500 in dealer contribution. So all in, you're somewhere around 37K off,
And
somewhere in
so
that
there's
neighborhood.
30 at it. It's 60.
Right.
So,
Hey, do you get tax?
So it's mathematically doable. It's just whether or not they want to do it, right? But you're going to need all, if not most of that down payment,
Do you get tax savings on a lease in Maryland?
maybe. On the equity, probably. Why?
Let's ask it for a friend.
and even then, payment-wise, she really won't lower.
Well, they bought this, right? So the advantage is that you're going to shorten your timeline to get out of this,
Sure.
right? Because they're probably in a 5 or 6 year finance, 5, 6, 7 year finance, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go into a 3-year lease, then yeah, I mean, look, there's going to be a lot of pain here no matter what option they choose. Either
Yeah.
they keep the car and they have to keep paying, they could throw the 30 grand at that and they're still majorly upside down,
Yeah.
or they can just rip the Band-Aid off and get something else.
Which is kind of what she wants to do.
It's a big Band-Aid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, it's a tough situation to be in. There's no way around that.
Yeah, her thing is, he's leaving. If we can have it, just gonna sit for a year. He's deployed for a year.
Right.
So he's gonna be paying $2,200 a month for a year. So I get it.
Probably still going to be paying around that, though. That's the thing.
I said, and I told her, I said, this isn't written in stone, but just looking at it, even in the best case scenario, to lower your payment, it's gonna be minimal if we even do.
I mean, with the 30K down, an EQB might work. If the payment isn't in consideration, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because EQB has a $9,000 incentive. Do they have fleet of any kind?
We got that now. He's military. But
Okay.
we have
Oh,
the,
yeah.
We have the blue EQB that I'm working on. No, that's
The GOB.
That's
The
a-
GOB won't be enough of a discount.
Uh-uh.
So EQB has a $9,000 incentive plus $7,500 lease cash plus probably about another 75. Those are going to be discounted around 24 grand. So that would, an EQB for MSRP more or less is kind of what it would be, which
Yeah.
will probably lower the payment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just, unfortunately, it's just a really
Yeah.
tough situation.
Oh, she knows. I know this is gonna
Yeah.
be pretty. I said, oh no,
Yeah.
we get it.
I hate to see it. I really do.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So anyway, all right. Well, thank you to everybody. I really do appreciate it. This has been fun. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And until next time.